What's up, everybody? What's up? You are now in the No Judgment Zone with yours truly, Sean Taylor, discussing topics with no judgments, discussing topics with no judgments. Um, I have contemplated all day to do this podcast because this isn't the normal podcast that I do. Um, this is a little different. So, I got news on yesterday that one of my dear friends, one of my longtime friends, one of my brothers, man, passed away. And there's an old saying, old Japanese saying, um, the winds of tomorrow will blow tomorrow. You know, tomorrow is tomorrow. Um, so out of that Japanese saying, the winds of tomorrow will blow tomorrow. What I get out of that is tomorrow is tomorrow. So we have to live for today. And that's the title of the podcast message is Tomorrow is Tomorrow. I'm going to try to thug through this podcast for about 30 minutes without breaking down. Um, you know, we I've made two posts on my Facebook page about Frank, and this podcast is pretty much in honor of him. Um, my condolences, first of all, goes out to uh, beautiful Sherry, those beautiful kids he's got. Every friend who know anybody that knows Frank pretty much knows that. I mean, he was a good dude. He just was a good dude, man. And I think sometimes, man, and if people have told me, Sean, don't beat yourself up too much. And I'm not. You know, I had a grandmother Louise, who was a firm believer that excuses are for the weak. And I live by that same code. So I hold myself accountable pretty much when I screw up or I make mistakes and I ride myself really hard. You know, my friend was reaching out to me for a couple of weeks and we were messaging back and forth. And I said, man, I'm going to call you. I'm going to call you. And sometimes we get so caught up into our busy world, into our busy lives, and not realizing tomorrow is tomorrow. So by living in today, it's okay to reach back out to your friends who've called you or to respond to a text. Don't leave somebody on red. To acknowledge people because you never know when this may be your last time you talk to them, hear from them. And for me, with all the death I've experienced from 2018 up to this point, I should know better. But I was just caught up into myself, and when I heard the news yesterday, it just kind of it took it pretty much took the air out of me, and it really messed me up. And it's still hard to process because I got so many memories, just memories of laughing with Frank, working out with Frank, just having a bite to eat, being roommates, working together, just hanging out, man, riding motorcycles on those two wheels, man, just, just being younger and just enjoying life, not having a care in the world, just being young and doing what you do. Tomorrow is tomorrow, so you got to live for the day. You got to appreciate your friends, even if y'all not even in the same states. You got to appreciate your loved ones, appreciate your family. Um, this one is a tough one. It's one of my best friends. It's like you. It's like losing a brother. It's like uh, a best friend is a best friend, man. And your best friends based off the history you've had with each other, the good times, the bad times, the times y'all got into it. The times y'all got into things y'all wasn't speaking. I mean, me and Frank, we went through all these different things. You know what I'm saying? But we didn't have a lot of bad times. He made me had like maybe one moment, but for but and it was years ago. But the bottom line is that we've always that's been my dude. That was my guy. That was my dude. You know what I'm saying? And we was tight. And you sometimes when you hear from people, you always think in your mind, I'll get with them tomorrow. I'll do this. I'll do that. Tomorrow is tomorrow. You gotta live for the day. You got to understand. We have to understand as people. Tomorrow is tomorrow. So you got to live for the day. That means you got to call them today. You got to talk to them today. You have to respond to that text message today because tomorrow is tomorrow. Like the Japanese saying, the winds of tomorrow is going to blow tomorrow. But you got to live for today. Tomorrow is tomorrow. So you got to live for the day. You got to be just self-aware and not saying you too busy. And I get it. Somebody told me, Sean, you can't do that. Life be life. And sometimes I get that. But I'm not the type of person to give myself an excuse. I don't like excuses and I don't like to give excuses. If I have if I feel in my heart and in my mind that I could have did something better, then that's just what it is. I should have contacted my friend, and I've reached out to friends and text them and messaged them, and a lot of people have didn't know that Frank passed. It's going to affect a lot of people because he touched a lot of people, and anybody Frank had that I don't not $1 million smile. He just had that $1 billion smile, man. And he was so funny. Sometimes not trying to be funny. He just had a good personality, man. And my thing about it is, man, as you get older, for me, I'm getting a little bit more sentimental in my as I'm getting older, and I'm seeing life and from a different set of lens and a different perspective. Um, that's why I don't sugarcoat nothing anymore. I don't lie anymore. I'm going to give it to you as it is because life is too short to be lying. Life is too short to to be given half truths, so to speak. But you got to live for the day, man. You got to appreciate those people who's around you today because tomorrow's not promised to none of us. You know, and I've said it plenty of times before. Time is our biggest commodity. Time is our most valuable asset. Time is more valuable than money. Some people may not agree with that because they so hung up on a dollar, but time is more valuable than money. When I lost my mother, me and my brother, we sat down and we talked about how hard we always have worked because we went without growing up and chasing that money and chasing and losing the bigger picture of things. And I think sometimes, man, we need money in this world, but sometimes, man, we could get so lost and caught up on it that we miss the finer things in life and what life is really about. I mean, friends and family. Life is really about friends and family, man. And I started thinking about all my friends that's living, and I just started reaching out to them, man. And this one, Frank, was family. You know, it hits hard. This is a tough one. It's a tough loss, and as men, we go through things that a lot of women don't understand, don't take the time to understand. We hurt differently. Men, we got a lot of pride, we got a lot of ego. We don't like to see people. I'm just trying to keep myself together. We don't like to see other people see us weak, and we definitely don't like to see our women to see us weak. But my remember my mom told me something years ago, man. I had to be about 28 years old, and she said, It takes the strength of a man to embody his weakness. It takes a strength of a man to go say, I'm sorry. It takes a strength of a man to forgive. When you are weak, it's easy to hold a grudge and to judge. My mother always told me weak men hold grudges and weak men judge. Weak women hold grudges and weak women judge. Weak men are unforgiving and weak women are unforgiving. She said, "You, when when something has been done wrong, you always own what you do wrong. You own your mistakes. You do not stand on excuses, and you do not give yourself a way out by giving yourself an excuse." To me, I should have been there for my dude, and I wasn't. I dropped the ball on that. And it's going to take me some time to deal with myself with that. You see what I'm saying? Ain't none of us that busy to not reach out back out to a friend who's reaching out to us, to text that friend who texts us back. It's you, none of us are, we are busy, but we not that busy, and I get it. But my thing for me, if I say you my dude, if I say you my girl, if you mean something to me, you mean something. And if you don't, you just don't. So for me, dealing with this, I look at Frank like he's like I got one blood brother. And all my boys into me, whether they know it or not, they like my brothers. So I am and I said it, and I said it in the post, and I put it in my story. I told Frank yesterday, I was just talking to him, and I was just talking to him in spirit, and I was just like, man, I'm gonna do better. I'm gonna do better to be a better. Damn. I'm gonna do better for my friends. Let them know that I love them, because this was not something that I was ready for, and it just makes me feel the times that I've gotten knocked out by sucker punches that I ain't see the punch coming. And I'm just trying to keep it together, man. My heart goes out to those babies, man, those kids, and I know they older now, but now they without their dad. And I'm a father. It hits me on that side because I'm a dad. And he those kids don't have their father right now. And Sherry, she's gonna have to be strong for those kids, man. It's just stuff you just don't like to see and you don't like to hear. And as a father, it touches me on that side. It touches me the history and the laughs and the time me and Frank spent together, man. And he loved his damn kids, man. We would message each other about our kids all the time. He really loved his kids, man. Tell each other how proud we are about how much we love our kids, and this one right here, it's hard for me to process. I don't understand it. It's just hard to process. But if you got friends, and I'm just gonna put this out there, if I know you, if you need me in any way about anything, if it's a conversation or whatever the case may be, I'm here for you for whatever you need, because fuck, this shit is. if we are friends or we're family, I'm here for you. You feel me? And this right here has taught me a valuable lesson. I don't give a and not everybody's gonna agree, and I don't expect everybody to agree with how my perspective is on this situation, because that was my dude. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you didn't have a relationship. I had a relationship with him. I mean, I'm dealing with this. I'm dealing with this in my own way, grieving in my own way. But in honor of Frank, I made a promise that I'm going to be better when it comes to my friends. And when I say I'm gonna be there, I'm gonna be there. I don't care if I call you back at midnight. You're gonna get that call back. Even with my own family, my own blood brother, it's like we gotta do better, man. Nobody shouldn't have to wait on who got to make the first phone call. Man, if that person on your mind, you call that person. You check up on them, man. It's not like, oh, I called him. Oh, the phone works both ways. We got to quit talking about that and acting idiots like that. That makes no sense, man. Because tomorrow, listen, man. I don't know about y'all, but I'm so tired of losing people that I love, man. You know, it it it's like the last conversation I had with my mom, man. Didn't get a chance to say goodbye to her. Didn't get a chance to tell her how much she meant to me. That's why I talk about it so much. That's why I talk. That's why I speak so highly of her, and I keep I keep the honor of her and her memory alive. And I'm gonna do the same about Frank. Because that dude was there for me, man, in times of my life, man, when I was younger. He was there for me, man, when nobody else was. That's the type of heart that dude did. That dude had, man. I remember when I was dead ass broke, and he went in his pocket and he took care of his dude. You know what I'm saying? That's that dude was a class act. He was a class act, man. He was just a dude. He meant so much to many. And we never know what people be dealing with, what people are going through, man. We don't know if people are sick. We don't know anything. But when they reach out to you, don't be so busy not to reach back out to them, because you're going to feel every ounce of that pain when they gone. Don't be so busy not to return a phone call, not to answer a text, or leave somebody on red. It's one of the rudest things. It's one of the rudest things people do, and I've done it. I've left people on red and just not text them back and stuff like that. But man, this right, they hit me so hard yesterday that it's hard for me to wrap my head around that dude. He's gone. He's gone. Ain't nothing I could do about it. Now you have to live with certain things, and we just have to be better, man. If we say this person is our friend, man, then we act like it. We take a moment out. We take a couple of seconds out. We take a minute or two out to acknowledge whatever they need in that moment. So if you say you friends with somebody and you 10 toes down for somebody, man, then be that. And I got some work to do with my friends, with my family. I just got work to do, man. I can't use I'm so busy as an excuse anymore. I can't use I got this going on, that going on anymore. I contacted my therapist and I say, man, I got to do better about when I'm going through stuff and stop shutting down. Because when you shut down, you shut everybody out. And that is not a healthy thing. It is not a wise thing. It is not a smart thing to do. And I got to work on that. Just because my mom, and it just made me think about my mom. All I heard was my mom in my head. Just because you're going through stuff, Sean, don't mean the world stops evolving. The world don't keep, it's gonna keep spinning. Because you're going through something, Sean, everybody's going through something. So we can't use that as an excuse. You know? And man, for you people, man, for the people out there who y'all people who are unforgiving, I strongly behoove you to start being forgiving. Y'all people who are holding grudges, I strongly behoove you, stop holding those damn grudges. It ain't worth it, man. You can act like people you had history with don't matter. They matter. They fucking matter. So holding on to your grudge, judging people, being unforgiving, that means more to you than the freaking person? Ain't none of us out here are perfect. So who do you have a right? What makes you think you got the right, the audacity, the nerve to hold judgments against somebody, to hold grudges, and to be resentful and bitter for years, months, days, and on end? You know how much time you wasting? Why don't you just go to the person and say, listen, man, I just lost my dude today. I'm thinking about you. I just was, I just want to make sure you're okay. I know I know we got bullshit, but I just want to make sure you're okay. Listen, man, it don't matter to me no more. To anybody I've ever hurt, lied, done wrong, please forgive me. For anybody you may feel as if I brushed you off, I hadn't answered your text or your phone call, please forgive me. And I'm deeply sorry. I mean that on my mom's right now. Because I'm gonna do better going forward. My friend had been trying to contact me for weeks, and I'm too busy. It's inexcusable. It ain't nothing right about it, and I'm not going to condone that. No, it's not okay. It's not okay to me because I got a long history with him. And anybody who knows me and knew Frank, knew we were roommates, knew that was my guy, that was my dude. So I got long history with this guy, man, and I got to do better going forward for my friends that are still living, for my family members that are still here. I can't stand on excuses. You stand on excuses, you standing on weakness. You ain't standing on strength. You stand on judgments, you standing on weakness. You're not standing on strength. You standing on grudges, you standing on weakness. You're not standing on strength. Are you standing on being bitter? You standing on weakness. You're not standing on strength. Resentment, you standing on weakness. You are not standing on strength. If they your friend, be their friend 10 toes down. You got friends, you got family, you got a woman, you got a man, you got a girlfriend, you got a husband, you got a wife, a boyfriend, whatever the case may be. The problem with us people, we got problems with commitment and dedication. If that's your friend, be committed to your friend. If that's your woman, be committed to your woman. If that's your dude, your husband, your wife, be dedicated. You got to have the commitment and you got to have the dedication, because that shit don't post a waiver because things get hard. Y'all get in disagreement, or whatever the case may be. Man, it's supposed to change. The commitment and dedication change because that person don't walk on water for you? Because y'all got into it? That's what people do. We argue, we get into it. Mistakes happen. Things are said in the heat of anger. And listen, man, I learned this from my sensei and my mother. An emotional mind is a narrow mind. And when you're emotional, you will say things out of anger that you really don't mean. I don't care what people say. Oh, if you said it drunk, you mean it. Oh, if you said it. Listen, man, that's an emotion. And emotions are constantly topsy-turvy, up and down on a roller coaster. That does not mean that person literally meant what they said. They going through, you both got emotional. Get over it. Life is too short. Life is too short. Tomorrow is tomorrow. You got to act today while you got breath in your lungs. So if you got a problem, I don't care who it is, you got a problem with somebody, man, fix that today, man. It's not worth it. Your friend call you and they need you, man, call that person back today. Tomorrow ain't guaranteed. It is not guaranteed that they're going to be here tomorrow. We got to do better, and we got to understand that. And some people don't get that. The winds of tomorrow are going to blow tomorrow. Tomorrow is tomorrow, so you got to live today. Everything that you need to do when it comes to your family and your friends, you got to act today. Man, tomorrow is not guaranteed. We got a wrong misconception that we got all the time in the world and we living on borrowed time. We got to correct that misconception that we got all the time in the world. You keep saying, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this. Where's the guarantee that you're gonna be able to do that? Where's the guarantee that you're gonna wake up tomorrow? Where's the guarantee that you're gonna wake up next week? There's no guarantees. Who promised you tomorrow? You promising yourself? Because listen, man, I've done it so many times. Oh, I'm gonna do this tomorrow, I'm gonna do this tomorrow, saying this and that and this and that. Lost my mother, lost best friends, lost another best friend, lost my uncle, my aunt, my oldest son. Man, this thing is serious. But we think we got all the time in the world, man. We don't. I don't care who you are. I ain't got no enemies. I have none. You mad at me, you mad by yourself. I ain't mad at you. Gwen raised me to not hold grudges. Gwen raised me to be non-judgmental. Gwen raised me to have an open mind. Gwen is my mother. So I don't move like you move. I don't think how you think. I don't act like you act. I have no judgments or grudge against no man, no woman. If you are an enemy of mine, you created yourself. You made yourself an enemy of mine. You're not an enemy of me. If you're not speaking to me, you could call me up right now. I'm going to be like, hello, hey, man, what's going on? And we ain't talked in a while. What's up? What's going on? I don't care if you're male or female. I don't care who you are. I don't have a problem with you. If you got a problem with me, it is your problem and your problem alone, because I squashed it a long time ago. I've been forgave you when you made the mistake. I ain't got no grudges against you. You got something against me because you don't know how to compartmentalize that this man is human like I'm human. He's imperfect like I'm imperfect. So if I know that you imperfect and I'm imperfect, you fuck up, I'm not finna hold nothing over your head. I'm not gonna constantly keep throwing past up in your face. And I'm looking in an imperfect position. How can I throw shade at you when I'm imperfect? I don't get that, but we do that. I ain't got no problem with nobody. I don't care how long. I don't know if we just talked yesterday. We ain't talked in 5 years. I don't have no problem with you. If you got a problem with me, it is your problem. Because I guarantee you, you're going to feel real silly when you have a conversation with me and you're going to be looking at me like, ah, Sean, like we never got into it. Well, dude, I got over it when we got into it. I forgave you. You my brother, you my sister, you my woman, you my wife, you my girlfriend, whatever. I've been forgave. I forgave you the minute it got done. It's my Christian belief for one reason, and this is the way how my mother raised me. So that's embedded in me. It's embedded in my head, my mind. It's embedded in my heart. That's who I am. It's not embedded in you because no one taught you that. But when you are taught that from a kid to a man, it don't go nowhere. I'm the most non-judgmental person any of you cats will ever meet. Trust me on that. You could tell me something today, I'm taking it to the grave with me. I ain't snitching on you. I ain't telling nobody your business. If you tell me, hey, Sean, this is how it is, I don't want nobody to know, it's going to stay with me. Even if you don't tell me that, it's going to stay with me. No. Sean, you heard about? No, I ain't heard nothing. Know it everything, and nope, I ain't heard nothing, because I'm not going to betray your trust in the valuable information that you gave me. If you tell me, Sean, this is how I want this to be done, I'm going to be in full 100% compliance with what you said. I don't hold grudges, people. I don't judge people. I'm not bitter. I'm not resentment. Whatever. Even in past relationships, past marriages, whatever the case may be, whatever went wrong, went wrong. If they got a problem with me, that's their problem. It's not me, man, because my mom raised me better. People ain't God. Jesus. People ain't perfect. So I'm not going to hold no man and no woman to some ridiculous, detached from reality standard. of, oh, they way up here. Man, people are people. And what you got to realize, that we waste so much time judging, holding grudges, and everything else. So caught up into our own self. We are so selfish. We are so selfish as people. But then on the flip side, we don't want people to be selfish with us. Riddle me that. I don't get that. How are you selfish, but you don't want nobody to be selfish when it comes to you? Hmm? Frank is gone, and there's so many people, his family, his children, so many people are going to be affected by him not being here. Tomorrow is tomorrow, people. So we must live for the day. We must rectify issues with others today. We must check on our family and friends today. We must be in response to them today. We need to forgive today, not tomorrow. We need to get over whatever mistakes, whatever argument, whatever grudges today. This is serious stuff, because once they leave here and you still got that stuff in you, you got to live with that stuff and carry that stuff, and it beats you up even more. It's not worth it, man. If you got a problem with judging people, I suggest you get that thing straight. That's not the move. If you got a problem with being forgiving, I suggest you get that straight. That ain't the move, man. You holding grudges in your heart, you judging people, you being unforgiving. Man, people dying every freaking day. Is it worth to hold that stuff in your heart, man? And in your mind? Is it worth it to you? It doesn't make any sense to me. I ain't got no problem with nobody. You may have a problem with me. My door stays open for us to have a conversation so we can rectify whatever issues there is. Because if you carrying that stuff in your heart, man, that stuff gonna eat away at you if something goes wrong with that person that you got a problem with. You can act like this, or act like it doesn't bother. Oh, it bothers you. It's gonna bother you. If you got a heart in your body that's beating, it is going to affect you. Tomorrow is tomorrow, man. You got to live for today. Check on your people. Love on your people like it ain't no tomorrow, man. Never take your friend. Don't take a friend for granted. Don't take a family member for granted. Don't take your woman for granted. Don't take your man for granted. Don't take your children for granted. Don't take nothing in this life for granted, because every day is that you were able to open your eyes is a brand new mercy to live this life to the fullest. And to get anything to right all wrongs, as many as you can. My dude ain't coming back. My mom ain't coming back. My son ain't coming back. My aunt ain't coming back. My uncle ain't coming back. My friends that died ain't coming back. Nobody's coming back. So I got to live for the day, and I'm going to lift them up in honor, in spirit. I'm going to talk about them. When I feel like posting, I'm going to post about them. If y'all don't like it, you just don't like it, man. Them my people. So if I want to post about my boy Frank, I want to post about my mom, my son, my uncle, my aunt, my friends who passed. That's my prerogative. It's my business. Them are my people. And when you love people, man, you want to honor them and talk good things about them, man. He gone too soon. He was too young. He too young. He's gone too soon, man. Still has so much life in him. And like I said, anybody that knew Frank Casanova will back up my words and what I'm saying in the type of man that he was. There are people that are hurting over this loss. There are people who are shocked over this loss. There are people that's still trying to process and that are going to be in disbelief to this loss. There are people that's going to be hurting for a while over this loss. We lost a real one. Yep. We lost a real one, man. We did. But remember, man, I didn't want to stay before y'all long. I just want to do this podcast in honor of Frank Casanova, my dude, that I loved, like everybody else that know him, that loved him, that's going to miss him, that in disbelief and shock just as much as I am still, that he's no longer here. And it was a sucker, if it was a sucker punch for me, and if it blindsided me, it did the same thing from everybody else. From all the people that I communicated with from yesterday and today, they all feel the same, but they're shocked. He meant a lot of things to a lot of different people, man, in so many different ways, in so many different areas and walks of life. He was a good man and a kick-ass father, man. My prayers to the family. He was a Detroit, Michigan dude. My prayers, I mean, I lift you all up in prayer. Sherry, the kids, the family back home in Detroit, Michigan, all the friends in Jacksonville, all the friends in Orlando, all his friends in Detroit. I lift you up in prayer, man. My heart goes out to each and every one of you, man. And you will be in my prayers forever. Listen, man, remember tomorrow's tomorrow, man. None of us are promised tomorrow. So we must live for the day. And just remember, like I said about the old Japanese saying, the winds of tomorrow will blow tomorrow. So please make sure that you live each day for that day. And don't even take life, don't even take waking up for granted. Don't take nothing for granted. Appreciate life and love life, man. Even when it's hard, love it anyway. Love on your people, love on your family members, love on your kids, love on your man, love on your woman, love on your husband, love on your wife, love on your people that you love, man. Because tomorrow's not promised, man. It's not. Like I always say at the end of every segment, I'll start judging people once I'm perfect too. But since this brother's in no danger of ever becoming perfect, you'll never have to worry about Sean Patrick Taylor ever judging you. Period. That's on my mom's. I do not judge people. I don't care what you have done. It is not my place to judge you. That's it. My job is to accept you and love you. That's it. Judging you, that ain't my job. That's for the person that sits high and looks low. He did not commission me with that job. It's not my job. It's not your job. Remember, man, tomorrow is tomorrow, man. Frank, we love you. I'm gonna miss you, bro, man. This one is a shocker. Y'all stay up out there, man. Remember what I said, man. Love is love, man. And man, make your negative changes into make your negatives in life into positive changes in your life. And get you some people in your life, man, that are non-judgmental, man. They are the most rarest people on the planet, man. Them are some beautiful people, man, where you can just literally be yourself. And they ain't gonna look at you no different tomorrow or next week or next month or next year. I'll catch you guys on the flip. Peace.